Hey, what's up guys? Gons here for the Face Like the Sun YouTube channel. There's a new video called Automaton by Jamiroquai, and it's a very interesting video. Now I can't play all the video on this video, you have to go watch it yourself, but you'll see that there is quite a bit of occultism and transhumanism and the symbolism and all that stuff. But I want to break down the lyrics because the lyrics seem to suggest something. Now, Jamiroquai obviously has been a band that talks about the dangers of technology. They had their hit song, 20 years ago or something, called Virtual Insanity. And now they're talking about this automaton. So here are the lyrics to the song Automaton. I'm not going to read the whole thing for you, but some highlights. The chorus here: all this love I felt for you has gone away to another place. It's a digital life. I put my faith in a digital world. When they've given me eyes without a face, I'd steal the moon on silver nights, remind myself I am someone. My soul is numb, and for tonight I am automaton. This sort of empty feeling, right? It's alluding to a dystopic future where we place our humanity aside to have these experiences, these quote-unquote adventures in the digital world. So I think this kind of dystopic future is a very strong possibility, and I think what's going to happen is that a certain portion, a certain segment of civilization is undoubtedly going to fall into this, and they're going to be part of this totally locked-in grid system, and they will be numb to reality because they will be living out this digital fantasy. Or tonight, I'm automaton, so put aside all my real life problems. I got things to deal with in the digital world. I thought this line was interesting in the second verse. I see the world in claws of freedom. The claws of freedom, like it's a flipping, it's a Luciferian view of freedom, right? It's a bad thing. And the second chorus here is really interesting. I said goodbye to the world I knew and took off into inner space. And during this part in the video, they actually show the spaceship, I think, taking off. Yeah, inside. And let me continue here. It's a digital life. Weren't you the ones who promised me a very different place? I've powered up, get my program set, and turn my head toward the sun. Inside, I know I'm not a void. I'm automaton. Hey, you got me down underground, getting holed up in my cyber lounge, as if I had time to break that down. I mean, I can read into each line, but you get the point here. It's sort of, this one here. Feel like a man who said to us that this is not where I belong. They rule my life from a metal box that's windowless, and I wonder where it all goes wrong. Maybe this dream will stay alive, but can the madness be undone? Am I the new intelligence? And this is the part where in the video it actually shows the man with his drug and the automaton, basically sort of in the same way the Matrix was shown. Being stuck in this room where your mind is completely controlled, your reality is completely controlled. This is already happening with the coming of virtual technologies, virtual realms. It's going to be used in business, it's going to be used with biometrics as it starts to integrate into the economy. And while it might seem insane, the warnings here are quite clear in my opinion. I don't know that this is Illuminati exposed type of thing, more so that I think Jamiroquai is just saying, hey, this is coming and here it is. And when the economy goes purely digital, our value systems will be something we can see as data points on a chart that analyzes the behavior patterns of whatever it is, the corporation, the entity, the currency, whatever it is. And the digital age has brought with it the very code that will enslave the human soul. The digital world is this reflection mechanism. It's a mirror that puts the human race at the center of big questions that we have in this life, right? And with this tool at our fingertips, we are going to be a generation that sees a lot of victims from the mechanisms of this prophesied mark of the beast. It's been here for a long time, but day by day it gets really hard to deny its truth and the reality of why it's happening and what the ultimate outcome will be. The importance of understanding the prophecies surrounding the mark of the beast, and by extension, The gospel is something that pertains to every human being that might hear this message and ones like it. And if you dismiss the possibility of the prophecy being true, and by extension the gospel being true, then you might be denying yourself an opportunity to flee this system that undergirds the destruction of the human race. And it ties into this alien thing in so many ways. It's unbelievable, because how easy is it going to be to fool us into thinking that an alien ship is 20 years out? You know, we see it now, and we need to build industry. We need to prepare for their arrival, whether they're positive or negative. Maybe it's ambiguous. You know, that sort of propaganda has been in science fiction for a long time.
When you stop to think that we're all God's children, wherever we may live in the world, I couldn't help but say to him, just think how easy his task and mine might be in these meetings that we held if suddenly there was a threat to this world from some other species, from another planet, outside in the universe. We'd forget all the little local differences that we have between our countries, and we would find out once and for all that we really are all human beings here on this earth together. I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
Nothing there.
What if there is something there?
Well, if there is something there, unless it's a threat to national security, I think we ought to share it with the public.
It was a great sci-fi movie where there was an alien kept deep under the ground in Area 51. Well, first I had people go look at the records on Area 51 to make sure there was no alien down there. What do we know? We know now we live in an ever-expanding universe. We know that there are billions of stars and planets literally out there, and the universe is getting bigger. We know it makes it increasingly less likely that we're alone.
Oh, you're trying to give me a hint that there are aliens.
If we were visited someday, I wouldn't be surprised. I just hope that it's not like Independence Day.
Yeah, right.
That it's a conflict.
Well, now we have friendly
Maybe the only way to unite this incredibly divided world of ours. They're out there. We better think of how all the differences among people on Earth would seem small if we felt threatened by a space invader. That's the whole theory of independence.
You're right.
Everybody gets together and makes nice and.
Did you explore?
I can't reveal anything.
Oh, really? Because President Clinton said he did go right in and he did check and there was nothing.
Well, that's what we're instructed to say.
I think a lot of these biotechnology issues will be the dominant sort of intellectual and ethical challenges of the lives of those of you who are 10, 20, 30 years younger than I am. Because I think that we are going to be able to save people's lives that, my generation couldn't be saved. And we are going to come up against the limits of our own mortality in a way we never could before. And a lot of the things that happen, good and bad, will be stranger than anything ever written in science fiction. But I don't know the answers. I believe that now that we know there are not hundreds, not millions, but billions of other solar systems out there, thanks to the Hubble telescope and what we know about black holes in the universe and all of that, the dimensions of physics are such that I would be quite surprised if in the lifetime of people that are no older than 30 here, we don't discover some form of life in another universe. It's pretty clear that there was something approaching elemental life on Mars at one time in the past, based on what we've already discovered there.
Do you know what would unify us? Okay.
A huge disappointment.
I guarantee you our economy would explode if they announced, I'm saying this hypothetically before the New York Times runs with it, that I say it's real. If they picked up an alien fleet that was, 20 million miles out and was telling us, because they're rules of war, we're going to attack you when we get there, I guarantee you, say it takes them 5 years to get here, our economy's going to explode no matter what the demographics are, and we're going to have all these weapon systems and space bases and stuff we never thought we'd have, and super weapons rolled out. That's what humans do in times of war, is they accelerate to the next level. So a giant war, either with aliens or with the Chinese or anybody, if we don't kill each other, could save us from the economy. I'm not saying that should be done. So you agree with me, though, if we knew there was a giant military threat that would destroy us in 5 years, we would mobilize?
That is what it would take to beat my forecast. Just cutting taxes or regulations, I'm telling you, is not going to create this 4% growth. Yes, an alien invasion and everybody goes back to work, including 65-year-olds and 75-year-old men and women. Yes, that's the only thing that would create this sort of growth.
It ties into Project Bluebeam, but hey, Bluebeam would work a lot better if everybody had their devices and they were tied into the digital system. And so this digital world that controls us, that literally causes us to abandon our souls, the worship of the image that might be coming, the arrival of aliens, quote unquote, the opening of portals and everything else. It all seems insane, but it all seems to tie together. The more digitized we become, the more easy it will be to provide these fantastic narratives about aliens or interdimensional beings that arrive, that come to us, that are going to be here.
This is where the space race proposals, in many ways so well suited as economic substitutes for war, fall short. The most ambitious and unrealistic space project cannot of itself generate a believable external menace. It has been hotly argued that such a menace would offer the last best hope of peace, etc., by uniting mankind against the danger of destruction by creatures from other planets or from outer space. Experiments have been proposed to test the credibility of an out-of-our-world invasion threat.
What I said about bluing through the fiber optic cables?
I just saw on the screen, you said something about allowing a mixture of supernatural forces that could come through the fiber optic cables.
Oh, yeah, I'm not sure if I said that exactly.
Oh, I think there was something I think it was the last slide maybe. It said something like that. Yeah, the last point right there.
Oh yeah, there it is.
Just wondering if you could maybe elaborate.
No, but see, this is supposed to be deception. This is a project to make people believe that supernatural forces are going through their television or through the cables. So, yeah, there's no science behind it.
So that was a little sidetrack, but getting back on point to the song Automaton by Jamiroquai, it really is a great social commentary on where we are and where we're headed with technology and science and everything else. I think in the same way that a show like Stranger Things and Fringe in the past and several other shows alluded to and revealed the truth about psychic experiments by our military, and now those documents being released, it's going to be the same thing. They're going to have documentaries, films, and movies that allude to big topics in the conspiracy alternative world, and then the official documents are going to be released. And so I think our job is to keep watch here, keep people informed. It's getting crazy. You thought things were crazy this last year. We're going to go to a whole new level, I think, starting this year. Things are going to go absolutely bonkers. Science fiction becoming science fact is going to be an understatement in a few years. And so what is the body of Christ doing to prepare for this sort of thing? Not much. And so our job is going to not only become to spread the gospel and the Great Commission, but also to wake people up within the church. The parts of the body that have fallen asleep and are numb, they need to wake up, because this stuff is going down real soon, which ultimately means the return of Jesus Christ. So it's not fear-mongering here. It's just being alert and being aware of the times we're living in. Have an awesome day, guys. God bless.